Clark quickly gets it up court, then got it knocked away. Odyssey cradles it.
She has not gotten her sea legs back on the court, at least not beyond the arc, and it just so happens that other three-point master of the WNBA, Sabrina Ionescu, is going through a bit of a shooting slump herself.
Are you kidding me right now? Caitlin Clark just got hammered on the arm right in front of the ref, and once again they swallowed the whistle like nothing even happened. But instead of backing down, she snapped into beast mode, turned her frustration into fire and lit up the court like a storm was coming, because when the refs won't protect her, she takes justice into her own hands. And tonight she didn't just play, she punished Atlanta with every step, every pass, every drive. A statement was made, and this time the message was loud and clear: don't mess with Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark takes the hit across the arm. The entire stadium sees it, the bench jumps, the fans scream, and yet the referees do absolutely nothing. Like we're watching the same movie on repeat. No whistle, no foul, not even a reaction. And Caitlin knows exactly what that means. It's going to be one of those nights again. But instead of backing down or complaining, she flips the switch and turns into a machine with one goal in mind: destroy the dream on her own terms. So she charges inside, takes the contact again, and this time she finished strong, draws the foul, and finally gets the call. But she's not celebrating because she's not satisfied. This is personal. She's been targeted, she's been disrespected, and now she's coming back from injury with a vengeance. You can see it in her eyes. She's not just here to win, she's here to dominate. Nothing stopping her, not the refs, not the defense, not even the coaching clipboard on the sideline. The way she moves with the ball, the energy she brings, it's electric, and you can tell the moment she steps on the court that the Fever have no intention of losing this one tonight. This is revenge in real time, and Caitlin Clark is the one writing every chapter. After getting dragged by fans and critics for her last performance, Stephanie White knew she had to make changes, so she shuffled the lineup and brought Lexi Hall back into the starting five alongside Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell in the backcourt. And the moment the game tipped off, it was obvious that the shift worked because Caitlin wasted no time, dropping a crisp laser pass straight to the paint for an easy bucket. And just like that, the crowd lit up and the Fever got rolling. But Atlanta wasn't coming to play defense and call it a night. Jordan Canada showed up, locked in, scoring on a smooth drive, then burying a three with zero hesitation, and the crowd suddenly shifted from roaring to rattled. Caitlin responded by attacking the lane again, expecting contact, and this time there was no question. The defender bumped her hard, but just like earlier, the refs looked the other way and kept the whistle cold. And this is where you could feel something wasn't right. It was building up like pressure in a valve, and it wasn't going to stay quiet for long. Then came the moment that pushed everything over the edge. Bree Jones breaks away in transition, goes up for a layup, and barely gets brushed by Caitlin from behind, and somehow the officials decide that's the moment to call a foul. Everyone in the arena goes silent for half a second before erupting in disbelief. Fans are waving their arms, the Fever bench is in shock, and Caitlin is staring at the scoreboard in complete frustration because it was crystal clear she didn't even make real contact, and yet the refs called it anyway. And instead of arguing or letting it throw her off, she channels all of that fury into her next play. She gets the ball, crosses half court, and immediately slices through Atlanta's defense like a hot knife through butter, lays it up over to defenders, and jogs back like it was nothing, because if the refs won't protect her, she just take matters into her own hands and make the defense suffer play after play. And even though the Fever still trailed, by the end of the first quarter, the shift had already happened. Caitlin had activated in new gear, and the Dream were about to find out what happens when you poke the wrong storm. The second quarter didn't start like basketball, it started like a battlefield, because right at the gate, Ryan Howard gets tangled up with Lexi Hall and goes down awkwardly, grabbing her leg. The crowd holds its breath, and you can feel the tension rising. Then moments later, Sophie Cunningham gets flattened by Breonna Jones on a brutal screen and hits the floor like a dropped weight, and somehow there's still no whistle. It's like the refs forgot what a foul even is, and just when it feels like the chaos might take over, Kelsey Mitchell steps up and reminds everyone that she's still a bucket waiting to happen. She crosses up her defender with a move so nasty it left her skating across the hardwood, and follows it up with a series of quick strike shots that keep the Fever within striking distance. But Atlanta's not folding. Jordan Canada is locked in, completely unbothered by the noise she's scoring at will, like she's in her own zone, silencing the crowd with every swish And even as Caitlin starts facilitating the offense, perfectly zipping passes to Kelsey for a cutting layup and dishing to Aaliyah Boston for a top-of-the-arc three, the Dream still managed to hold the lead going into halftime, and the numbers speak for themselves. Canada drops 26 points by the break, including 6 threes, and it feels like this game is headed straight for another Fever heartbreak unless something changes fast. Coming out of halftime, the energy inside the arena was nervous because Fever fans had seen this script before. Close first half followed by a second half collapse, but Caitlin Clark had no interest in letting that happen again. Just 3 minutes into the third, she finds herself in the corner, calmly steps back and drills her first three of the night, and with that shot, the momentum didn't just shift, it exploded. Suddenly, everything clicks off. Responds by feeding Lexi Hall for a clean finish, then hits Kelsey Mitchell on the very next play for another quick score, and the offense is flowing like a river. But they're not done yet, because now Sophie Cunningham catches fire to knocking down back-to-back threes like she's shooting in an empty gym, and the Dream are on their heels scrambling to keep up. And as the quarter winds down, Caitlin drives hard, takes the bump, and still gets the and one to fall, flexes on the finish, and walks back down the court with that fire in her eyes, because after spending 2 quarters playing catch up, the Fever have officially taken control, leading 70-65. And suddenly this isn't about revenge anymore, it's about redemption, and Clark is making it clear she's here to finish what she started. The fourth quarter has haunted the Fever all season long. It's where leads vanish and wins slip away, and everyone watching knew it. The crowd was holding its breath, because with Stephanie White on the sidelines and past collapses still fresh in their minds, it felt like anything could happen. But Caitlin Clark had other plans, because this time she didn't wait for instructions, she didn't ask for play, she demanded the ball and took complete control of the game. And what happened next was pure dominance. First, she bullies Jordan Canada all the way to the rim, finish through contact like she's in the weight room, not on the court, and doesn't even flinch. Then she immediately turns into the playmaker everyone fears, finding Sophie Cunningham on a sneaky baseline cut for the layup, then pushing the tempo full speed in transition before floating a perfect lob to Aaliyah Boston under the basket. And it's not just fast, it's surgical. Caitlin sees the floor like it's in slow motion, then she exploits a mismatch down low, feeds Dantas, who powers through for the and one, and still Clark isn't done, because seconds later she threads another perfect assist to off, who cashes in again. And just like that, the Dream are dead in the water, the Fever are dancing, and Caitlin Clark is at the center of it all, orchestrating every possession like a conductor in full command of the symphony. When the final buzzer echoed through the arena, the scoreboard told the story loud and clear: Fever 99, Dream 82. And while Caitlin Clark only finished with 12 points, it was her 9 assists and nonstop engine that truly broke Atlanta apart, because every time she touched the ball, the offense came alive, the pace skyrocketed, and the team looked like a well-oiled machine. And her impact wasn't just in the numbers, it was in the energy, the control, the leadership, the way she bent the defense and freed her teammates to shine. And shine they did, because Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston exploded for 44 combined points, shooting a deadly 14 of 26 from the field, and Sophie Cunningham lit it up from deep with 4 triples on her way to 16 points. And while the first half had fans biting their nails, the second half was nothing short of a masterpiece. 59 points in 2 quarters, clean ball movement, suffocating pace, and for once everything just clicked. And what changed wasn't the strategy, it wasn't some new secret play, it was Caitlin Clark being allowed to run the show, and that freedom turned the Fever from vulnerable into vicious. After the game, coach Stephanie White finally said what fans have been screaming all season long, that this team needs consistency, that this win felt like a weight had finally lifted, and that with the full roster finally clicking, it's time to start stacking victories and building momentum. And while that sounds good on paper, it's what she did during the game that truly mattered, because for once she stepped back and let Caitlin Clark be the system, not a piece of it. And the result was a Fever team that played loose, confident, dangerous, and unselfish. And Caitlin herself couldn't have said it better when she told reporters that this team has enough offensive weapons to get 5 or 6 players in double figures every night, as long as the ball is moving and the pace stays high. And when you watch this game back, it's obvious that she's right, because every possession she initiated led to an open look, a fast break, or a defensive collapse. and her connection with. Aaliyah Boston, which had completely disappeared in their last game, was suddenly back and thriving, and that high-low chemistry became the difference maker all over again, and now with this huge bounce back when in the books the spotlight turns to what might be the biggest showdown of the year, because next up for Caitlin Clark is her first ever WNBA face-off against none other than Paige Bueckers, to legends to former college icons, now going head-to-head on the professional stage. And if you thought tonight was electric, just wait until these two step onto the court together, because that game won't just be must-watch basketball, it'll be history in the making, and Caitlin Clark is just getting started. So if tonight proved anything, it's that when Caitlin Clark has the ball in her hands, the entire rhythm of the fever changes. The team moves faster, scores easier, and plays with a level of confidence that's impossible to miss. And sure, the refs might still be testing her patience. And yeah, the media might keep doubting her toughness, but Caitlin isn't asking for favors. She's out here demanding respect, and after what we saw tonight, respect isn't just coming, it's inevitable, because whether she's dishing no-look passes, breaking ankles at the top of the key, or leading a fourth quarter takeover, she is showing the league that this isn't hype, it's reality. And now with her next battle against Paige Bueckers on the horizon, the storyline just got even bigger, because that matchup is going to be more than just a game. It's going to be a clash of icons, a new chapter in the rise of women's basketball, and the fans are already counting down the days. And with the momentum Caitlin's carrying right now, don't be surprised if the next time she steps on the court, she doesn't just win, she makes history again, because this is the Caitlin Clark era, and it's only just begun.